Okay, part 3 of the value scale series is pointillism. Okay, pointillism is essentially just dots. Okay, the closer you put the dots together, the darker it appears. A little bit further, displacing them a little bit further apart from each other and further apart, they will appear lighter and lighter. Pointillism is awesome for facial hair. Okay, this is a picture of Will Smith right here. Dots really close together. The whole thing is actually done in pointillism, but it's really good for people with closely cropped hair, closely cut hair, fades, mustaches, beards. It's really good for that too as well. So pointillism, you definitely want to utilize that if you have someone with facial hair like this guy right here, or if you have someone with like a little bit more stubble. You definitely want to do some pointillism in those areas. Okay, so we're going to get back to our pointillism here. I'm actually going to recommend that maybe you guys try doing pointillism with a very thin black Sharpie. If you don't want to do it with a thin black Sharpie, you can do it with any type of pencil. It's fine. But you can do something like this, you know, and it looks pretty good with the pointillism, and you're kind of fading it out. Now, I'm not going to sit here. This is the one that's going to take you the longest, so I'm not going to sit here and do a lot of it for you, do the entire box like you guys are going to do. This is going to take you probably about maybe a good 15-20 minutes to do. So if you take that time and you do it the right way, it's going to look really good. If you don't take that much time, it's probably going to not look as good. So again, value is just about patience and focus and time. So my first box, I'm really packing them close together in there. Okay, so put them really close together. Keep the pen really close to the paper too. The more you like bring the pen up and down and bang the pen against the table, the longer it's going to take you, and actually the worse it's going to look too. So you want to keep it really close to the table, and it goes faster, and it just looks better too. So I'm putting that, fill that entire box, and I'm going on to the next one. The next one is a little bit easier because you don't have to put quite as many in there. Okay, so you put a little bit less in there. In this one, okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm just going to make sure I put a little bit more in this one. Kind of make it look a little better here, so I'm going to put a couple more in there. And again, I should be taking a little bit more time doing this, but you guys have the time, so you do it right. Okay, so you put that one in there. That one's looking a little bit lighter already. Again, fill the entire box. This one's easier because I don't have to do as many, and so on. It should get easier and easier and easier. But you still have to make sure that if you put your hands right next to one another, you can tell the clear difference between darker and lighter. If they look the same, you have to put some more in the previous one. Okay, so I'm being careful that I put a lot in here still, but not quite as many as this one. Okay, and then 40 is a little bit less. Okay, I really want to make sure these two look a little more different, so I'm going to put a couple more in this one. Especially along the edge there. I'll put a little more in this one. You can see you just have to kind of keep going back and put more in the previous ones to make them look a little bit more contrasting with each other. That looks pretty good. There's a couple open gaps. I'm going to put some more dots in. And then lastly, my last one's just kind of like fading out like this. And you see a little bit less of them. All right, so that's your pointillism. And that's it. That's it. Here again is another example, another really good example of pointillism. That's all you got to do for me right there. Okay, so pointillism, a little bit of cross hatching right there, and you got your value scale. That's 5 points apiece for a total of 15 points. Okay, thank you.